everybody, I'm Laura and this is Atomic News TV, and this is my second video today, but I want to talk about something that I haven't talked about yet on my channel and is really an important, serious thing in our country, and this affects me. So if you're new here, welcome, and hit that like button, hit subscribe, and hit that bell icon, because I have a big mouth and I like to talk about a lot of shit. If you're not new here, welcome back and thank you for your continued support. So let's talk about the opioid crisis in the United States. All right, we know that a majority of the illegal drugs that come into this country come from the southern border, and we're talking heroin, cocaine, fentanyl, of course weed is coming up through it, but we've got our own weed up here, so I'm sure that's not the money maker, coming through the border. Hello camera, focus, I'm right here. Hello, thank you, welcome back. Anyway, so we know all those drugs are coming through the southern border. And we do have a crisis here in the country. It's real. There's a lot of people that are abusing narcotics. But what about the people that have legitimate issues and legitimate needs for opioid medications? Me. For those of you that don't know, I do have a neurological issue on the side of my head. And that's why I am on my way to Madison, Wisconsin right now, driving to a whole nother state. And I have, for the past 3 years, been in near continuous pain in some part of my head. I did have to have surgery and have to have one of my nerves cut at the root in my spine, and that helped with one area of it, but the rest of it can't be cut. And I have to deal with this pain until we find a solution. And it's legitimate, hardcore pain. There have been times where I've had to go to emergency just to get some morphine to shut it up. Just to have a break for a moment in my life, just a moment of peace. It's like, this side of my head is like the Middle East. There's always war going on the side of my head, and it's very painful, and at times it is equivalent to the pain of cancer. It is. Yet I can't get a Vicodin to save my life. I have to go to the emergency room and have my vein tapped and basically get morphine. And I've probably done that at least a dozen times in these last 3 years when it's gotten super, super bad. But all of my doctors, my primary doctor, my neurologist, my local neurologist, and then my neurologist up in Madison, as well as my anesthesiologist, she's a pain management doctor, nothing. No narcotics of any kind, except for when I had the surgery. And it's like, hello, I'm in serious pain day to day, but I can't get anything to save my life because we have an opioid crisis. Right? I might become addicted. Well, we've tried nearly everything, and nearly everything that is non-narcotic, basically. And it doesn't work. How many things do I have to try and go through before they say, okay, this girl needs some shit? All right? I mean, let's get real, right? Let's get real here. How much does somebody have to suffer? And it's suffering. How much does somebody have to suffer before a doctor is going to be like, okay, you poor thing, here? It's ridiculous. And here where I live in Illinois, because I live in Illinois, it's a blue state, okay? And I hate that. I'm red. I'm a red, voter, Republican. But this is a blue state, and yes, we have medical marijuana here, but you have to be like dying to get it, all right? My condition is not listed in order to be eligible for that. So it's useless for me. I mean, I'm quite sure that would help me, quite sure. And if I lived in Arizona still, piece of cake. I could be eating special brownies and special cookies left and right. Easy. I wouldn't have a problem, but because I am in a liberal state, we can't seem to get medical marijuana to be accessible like it should be for somebody who is in as much pain on a daily basis as myself. So, we're trying everything that is not narcotic. And I'm up on my way to get a specially compounded medication that is used for addicts, okay? They use this medication when they're detoxing drug users, alcoholics, things like that. That's not me. But they're going to use this off-label in the hopes that it blocks my neuro, firing in the side of my head that causes the pain. This is an opioid blocker that they're giving to me, yet I don't take opioids. So they're hoping it blocks the pain. Hoping. I don't know, it might. But this is going to cause a serious problem for me if I ever need opioids, like if I'm in an accident, or like I'm at work, I'm a veterinary assistant. If I get, bit by a dog and I need pain medication, I can't take it because I'm taking an opioid blocker now. And if you have the opioid blocker and you give it what it's supposed to block, it's going to make me sick. It's going to make me sick like I'm going through withdrawals. So it essentially screws me in that sense. Hopefully, if I have to have another surgery or something like that, they can figure out what to do. Obviously, I'll probably have to wean off that medication before they can give me opioids and then have that get out of my system before I restart the medication. You see what I'm saying? So this is crazy. I'm having to take a medication that necessarily doesn't apply to me, but we're hoping it's going to work and block the pain. Just because nobody will give me a damn Vicodin. It's ridiculous. And then if that doesn't work, they're going to put a neurostimulator in my head, okay? Wires to give off an electrical current to stop the pain. All right, I'm kind of down for that. That one, I'd actually do. But why can I not have a damn Vicodin? All because people abuse the medication, and now people who really legitimately need it can't get it. And it's ridiculous. So everybody is all up in arms right now because the FDA just approved a new medication, which I can't think of what it's called, but I'll put it in the video description as well as the description box. They just approved a medication that is 1,000 times stronger than morphine. Holy shit! Right? And so people are like, hello, we're in an opioid crisis. Why are you approving this medication? Okay, I can see where they're coming from. But the reason this medication was approved is because it's sublingual. It goes like, it's injected under the tongue and it's absorbed like that, and it takes care of pain much faster and much more effectively than morphine. Okay? Yes, it's probably going to get abused. People are going to get their hands on it illegally. They're going to overdose. It's going to happen. But this medication was asked for basically by the Pentagon so that they could treat our military men women who were injured and needed severe pain control fast. Okay? When you have somebody whose arm is blown off by, a bomb or something like that, they're in serious pain, right? So giving them an IV and waiting for morphine to work is not as fast as shooting it under their tongue, like this new medication, and having like instant relief, right? So I understand why the FDA would approve something like this and put this on the market. This is something that could also be used in hospitals, but it's going to be used in specific cases like end life, cancer pain, dying, that type of a thing. So it's not a bad thing to have. We need to have these type of medications if we as man can create it, right? But I'm sure it's going to get somewhere illegally and it's going to get abused just like every other medication, and it's going to screw people like me because doctors are going to be afraid. Well, dear doctors, stop being afraid of me. 3 years of suffering should be enough. So give me a damn Vicodin. That's all I gotta say, right? Is there anybody else out there that's in the same boat as I am? Where you've experienced this, where doctors just don't want to give you something that you clearly deserve to have. Is there anybody out there like me? Please say there's somebody, so I'm not alone. It's really shitty. So that's what I gotta say about the opioid crisis and the new medication that came out and how I'm getting screwed. Alright guys, if you like my videos, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And as usual, if you don't like my videos, why did you watch until the end? So, until next time guys, peace out.